And I'm back and I'm live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, WatchYoMouthReviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And it is not going to happen, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co host, Mrs. Best. I'll say what's up to her.
Good morning. Be sure to like the video, share it, and we hope that you subscribe.
Yes, and please subscribe. And while you're subscribing to me, go ahead and subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover it on her channel. We have a slew of shows that we do together collaboratively, and also she does shows outside of myself that are absolutely great. I love all of her recaps. You guys go ahead and enjoy. Leave a comment, and if you're subscribing by a way of me, please tell Mrs. Best that James sent you. All right, so as we're getting here, we have Dr. Jim Bunny in the chat. She is the birthday girl today. Make sure you guys show her some birthday love in the chat. My girl Keywan J is here. Yes, this is my other bestie. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to her channel. And also be sure to tell James sent you. Love my girl to death here. American Born is here. This is my OG. All right. And Shani is here. This is my other OG best friend here that she came. I love her when she comes through. Y'all, she may not watch the show entirely, but that's okay. She gonna show up for her boy. Love you, Shani. Thank you for being here. So, oh my Lord, have mercy. I done lost my notes here. What the heck? So the show opens up with Rose. She is going shopping because she is putting together an event for the ladies that is sort of jungle-esque inspired. So she's requiring a lot of girls to wear either some type of animal, whether if it's leopard print, cheetah print, something print. Yes, she is requiring you to show up in that attire. So she goes shopping to buy her own attire, and she's also invited Chloe as well to go shopping for everything. So Chloe, at this point, when they're going shopping, she doesn't know why they're there. So when she talks to Ro about what they're shopping for, Ro gives her the insight about her event that she's throwing, that she wants, all the ladies to wear an animal print of some kind. So they're going shopping, looking for everything. And so Chloe asked her, well, who did you all invite? And she said, I invited all of the girls, so everyone will be joining us. And Chloe said, well, did you invite Ashley since she's going to be tagging along with us? And she said, well, no, I didn't think to invite her. And based on the things that I'm hearing that she's saying, I don't know if I would because I still don't know about her just yet. And Chloe was like, well, she is, Labrina's friend. And I'm sure Labrina gave her the 401 on all of us. And Ro was like, well, what do you mean the 401? Why would she give her that? Like, what does she need to say? She could just meet us all individually and make her own opinion. And Chloe's like, well, that's not how that goes. If anybody joins a friend group, the friend is going to give them the 411 on everybody. And she did say you were the most closed off out of everybody in the group. She said that she couldn't get a read for you. Now, Chloe is bringing her back this message based on the dinner that her, Ashley, and Labrina had in the previous episode. And what Ashley said directly was, that she just didn't have a feel for Rose. She just felt like she was a little closed off, and but she said she kind of felt like she got to know all the ladies except for her. So Rose was like, well, why is it got to be like this? Like, I just don't know her. I just have to take a feel for her. And y'all, when I say I understand Rose, because my best friend is like that. She got to feel you out. First impressions are everything. I'm a little bit more like, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be forward. I'm going to be like, hey, how you doing? And I'm probably going to hug you. That's usually how I am, and that's because I'm somebody who was just kind of like leading with love. I like to lead into love, and then when you cross me is when I cut it off. But Mrs. Best got to fill you out. She got to, and there's nothing wrong with that. I really don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like not everybody is the same, so we need to kind of be a little bit more lenient and open to people who need just a little bit more time to fill you out. Now they'll come around to that other side. They will. But they just need time to fill you out. And then also, I kind of feel like I didn't like how Chloe brought that back to her. When I was watching this particular scene, before we get into the scene where it gets addressed, I kind of felt like Chloe was trying to be messy a little bit with saying that, knowing that that wasn't going to be received well. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask you, how did you feel about, Chloe bringing back the message about Ashley felt about Ro?
Chloe is messy. I am driving through a mountain right now, so if it gets choppy, my apologies. But Chloe is messy, and I feel like she hides behind some of the stuff that she's been through in life with her messiness, but then at the same time, I think she know, like, if I know that someone says someone is closed off and it's something that we all publicly know, it takes Ro like a little bit of time to open up to people. And you also know that Ro, is this way. It doesn't make sense as to why you would go back and tell her something in a way that could be like interpreted negatively. It just doesn't seem necessary. And Chloe is also doing this with the Labrina situation. Remember, we saw the clip. She was the one that made the precious comment in a derogatory way. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I get the feeling that Chloe's going to be the type to bring mess. Like she'll throw the rock and hide her hand. And then if you try to question her on it or if anything is connected, I feel like she'll cry or bring up that she having a hard time. Like she just gives that. You're muted, my darling.
Oh, sorry. 100% agree. I do think that she brought that back messy, and I feel like she's
She's
trying to
that
stir up the
dry hating
drama.
ass friend.
Yes.
She's a dry hating ass friend. Like there's always that friend that if you do something they have to, that there's also the kind of people who will hate on you just by making you feel uncomfortable. I feel like she told Ro that knowing it would upset Ro.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Um, Ro did go into, details about, where she is with her child's father. I'll get more in depth into that. I'm not going to really kind of bring it up in this scene too much because it was just kind of like, mentioning it to, fulfill the conversation, but it wasn't really as pertinent as we'll see later on. But that was pretty much, their segment. We're getting the story. We moving it along a lot smoother than we did last season. Yes, happy birthday to Dr. Jim Bunny. You guys are saying, hey, I'm just gonna get these comments real quick. Yes. Yes. You guys are saying happy birthday to Dr. Jim Bunny. Oh, we have a question here from America Moore. So are they replacing Elena? They need to. They need to. Because Elena is not filming. She's not in it. We have one scene with her and two out of the six ladies. Like I need her to either show up or leave the show. It seems like she's just doing a bare minimum to fulfill the contract obligations, which she's not fulfilling. We didn't even see Elena this episode. So I don't know why once again, I don't know why Elena is still here. If she's not going to be here, why are we filming her? Just cut her scene out, give her a payoff, and send her on her way. I don't understand this. I just don't. Hi, Jewel. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate you. Um, yes. Chloe is getting on my nerves. And yes, Messy Boots. Yes, absolutely. Chloe, misery love. Yes, yes. Y'all are seeing it. Y'all are clocking it. Not Miss Ducky. Oh, yes. At first meeting, I'm going to come with nothing but positive energy. But when I meet you, if you give me nothing but stankness, then that's all you got to do to get from me. Too. Yeah, yeah. But you have some people who they got to fill you out first, and I don't think that there's nothing because here's the thing. My mom is like that. A lot of my people, like my grandmother, everyone has to fill you out first. I'm kind of different where I'm like embracing immediately and like wanting to know more and like just really like just loving on you at first, and then I'll continue to love you when you cross me is when I cut off. You have to work for that for my family. You just do. That's just how it is. So I'm used to people like Ro because I have them all around me. I have them all around, and I don't think there's anything wrong with how she brings new people into her life. I feel like that's a very safe way to be. I really do. And Chloe's not listening to her own children over this young man. We gonna get into that. We gonna get into that, AB. We really is. Yes. I've been clocked Chloe since last season. You did. You did. You been clocked her because yes, something wrong with that lady. Which one is Elena in the picture? She's the lady, the second picture on the left. So the second picture on the left, if you're starting out with my face, you have Latoria. The picture from her is Elena. The middle is Chloe. Next, we have Labrina. From there, we have Ro. And then from the last one, we have Manira. So, yes. My attitude is stank and nasty, so trust me, I can recognize it when you tell. Next to Latoria. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Which one is Chloe? She's the center. She's in the middle. Uh, she don't know. It's okay. That's all right. We gotta get you to watch the show. It's actually a really good show. Never watched one episode. Yes, we appreciate you. We know you're gonna show up regardless if you know the show or not. You're gonna be here. That's what I love about you. That's what you call support. She don't watch this show, y'all, but she gonna be here. Next thing we have is Manira and her mom. So we learned that Manira's mom, while visiting family in India, she ended up having a health scare. And from what we learned about Manira, she's an only child. So a lot of things fall back on her when it comes to her parents' illnesses and things of that. So she flew her mom back. And, once her mom got back to say she ended up being better. And, she says that, one thing about her parents, both of her parents, that she notices is that they're not very forward when it comes to talking about situations like illnesses financially. Like, they're not very open to those conversations. So a lot of the times when things hit the fan, it comes at her like deeply because she didn't know these things were happening. We'll see a scene with her father where the same circumstance ends up happening as well. But speaking of her father, she said that she did reach out to him and that they're going to, have a connection, and that she would like to bring her father around the family, since she doesn't really recall a time where all of her family was together under one roof. And her mama said, "Oh, no, don't bring that man around me. Or if you bring him around me, you better hide the silverware." So we understand that their relationship was very contentious. Their mom left the father and moved to the States, and they settled in Texas. So she had to watch her mom literally start over. There were times where they were broke. She talked about this a lot the first season. So we're kind of being reintroduced to this same story again, a little bit more further in depth, because now we actually have a picture of her father in the story too. It will actually get to know him get to know him better as well. So Manira got a lot on her plate. So, Mrs. Best, how'd you feel about the scene with Manira and her mom?
Um, I appreciate Manera for sharing like her family and being so open about her background and her story. But at the same time, I don't feel like she interacts with the group enough, if that makes sense. And when she
Yeah.
does, it's very short. But I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Um, yeah, I don't have much. Sorry.
No, no, no worries. No worries. That's okay. So we move on to the next scene, which is Chloe and Jordan. So Chloe and Jordan go to this repainting experience, and Chloe mentions to him that she had a conversations with the girls, and she said that they weren't really on board with her moving on into potentials of her getting married. They, rightfully so, they just lost their father, and they're still trying to grieve that, and they don't want to share their mom right now. They don't want their mom to be, happy in a relationship, or not happy. I don't want to say that. I would say they don't want, you know, in this time of her life, they don't really want the situation to render from her being taken as well in a different space. Like, their father is no longer here, so their mother's putting their energy into this man. So they don't want to be parentless. And I can understand that. That's why I said that next week. I do understand the little baby's points. Like, to me, where we kind of landed on this last week is that it was him being the situation. It wasn't so much that Chloe didn't want to move on. It was him. But we're listening to Chloe, and all we can go based on Chloe, because remember, we only have 45 minutes. Chloe is putting it as the little girls just don't want her to move on right now with anyone. But we kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of, as I said, I'm 50-50, because I can see both sides. I can see it being him, and then I can see it being, you know, maybe the grieving of their father. But this is what I'm going to say. Chloe, because I was going to save this for another scene, but I'm just going to save it right here. Chloe, this storyline with this man does not make sense. The story with your children and how they feel about this man does not make sense, particularly with your oldest son. Now, you said previously before that when your son walked into the house and saw Jordan there, he was cool and you didn't know how that was going to go. But in this scene, but in another scene, you said that they weren't getting along and you're worried about that and everything. I need to know which one it is, because you're not making sense of this. Jordan doesn't make sense, and neither do you. I feel like this is catastrophic, and you two are trying to button it up by getting married without dealing with the issues, one being your children and how they feel. And then also, if this really is a circumstance of y'all needing to go this step, because you just said this man cheated on you, how quickly that goes away. And now we don't know where that went. I'm confused. I'm confused. It does not make sense. When you were crying at the end, I couldn't feel for you because I don't know where to land with you. I don't know where to land with you. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought this up too, because that was in my mind. Why are you telling him about how your children feel about him? That is not a safe thing to do. That is not a safe thing to do. In this situation, y'all, the best thing to do is for you to have open eyes and open ears to see if there's something he is doing that makes them uncomfortable so you can address it with both your children and him. Not telling him, because what that can do, not to say he's this way, y'all, I'm not trying to put that on this man, but I have seen when a parent opens their mouth to their partner about children, there's some resentfulness that adults have and they feel away because you called out a character flaw that the kids innocently saw in them. So I think that that's a dangerous thing. So I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think that parents should do this. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the date with Jordan and Chloe?
I don't like the relationship. I'll keep saying it. I question a woman at her age choosing to be with somebody who is obviously still maturing as a man and as an adult. Um, I think it's crazy that she's even still talking to this nigga, especially on a level that she's not breaking up with him, because I am not a mother. I do not know what it feels like. But I'll say this: if my kids tell me that they're not comfortable with somebody and they don't want me to marry them, then bye. Especially if they're so small. Like, he would literally be a pivotal part in their life. But, you know, Chloe is the definition of misery loves company. Because she be acting like she going through so much in her life, but then she be messy. She's ignoring her kids. So I don't quite understand. It's given this lady just doesn't know how to be alone.
So I can kind of see that. Since you said, because to me, I would not be trying to make a relationship work with somebody who I have publicly said he has cheated on me. And I have the proof from the Ring doorbell camera.
He can't
I
even have a
would,
conversation without storming off. Like,
yeah.
so I've been with my husband since I was 16 and he was 17, 18. Like, when he was like 17 to 23, if we had any type of disagreement, it could be something so small over the trash going out. He would storm off and throw a fit like a little girl. Nope. But when he talk about dope, um, yes, he was. Right lane to take but like as he's gotten older today, he like wants to sit and like talk through shit and like actually handle stuff like he's emotionally regulated. Like, that man is younger, and I think it's unfair of an older woman to expect for him to behave like her age at 25. It's like God is sending you every sign that this is not for you, but you still try to make it for you. I don't understand, Chloe. Right onto loan.
Way too many red flags for me. I 100% agree. I'm going to get these comments here. Um, yes, you do give great feedback, Shandy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. American born here. Um, let me see here. Shandy, stop it. Yes, you do. Manira's mom doesn't look well at all. She didn't, and maybe that's because she just overcame whatever sickness she had. So maybe that's what it is. But she did look a little out of it. She did. The lady all the way to the right, if you're facing your screen, I look at her, and for a second, I was like, is that. Oh, Royce from Basketball Wives. It's funny because I mean, my partner were just saying that she does look like Royce. She really does. Yes. Low key, she can go to me. Yeah, like low key, if she don't step it up, yeah, I could see that being something. Yeah. Um, Chloe basically took in another child to raise, and does he even work? Listen, I don't know what this man does. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. I just know there's something questionable about him. It is. There's something questionable about him. I just don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not in the household. And with Chloe, we can't get anything definite because she says one thing, but then does another. So I don't know what to take from this man. I don't. And I can't really get a clear indication from him because he doesn't have a confessional. He doesn't have anything that she has to where he can explain his point of view. All we know is that from her point, cheated, kids don't like him, son almost threatened to fight him allegedly, and all this. And from his standpoint, we got I love Chloe, marriage, but I don't want her telling my mama all my business. That's it. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. That's why it's confusing. Chloe is causing stress and aggravation all around the daughters, her son, 2 years younger than Jordan. He's sleeping over, cheating, and now a ring. He wants to put her on pause. The calls to mom. Yeah, pretty much everything I just said. Me and Jewel, we here. We understand each other. Yeah. I don't know how that's translates to marriage, but okay. What the hell do I know? He's going to have some resentment for the girls as he has. Yes. And that's why I said in my mind, because it was funny you said that because I was thinking that when I was watching the scene, like, why would you tell him that? Because he's not emotionally mature. He's not coming from a standpoint where he can understand their dad has passed. They're going to feel a way about another man stepping in. And then Chloe in the scene says, I know you're not trying to be their father or replace the father. No, he's not supposed to replace his father, but he is coming into your life if you plan to marry him as a role of a father. Anybody who marries someone with children has to step into that role because they can't just be with you and completely ignore your kids. Like that does not work. So I don't know. As I said, Chloe's storyline frustrates me because she's not being clear. And I get it's a small show in a 45-minute standpoint, but I feel like she's leaving out details in the scene that would make it make sense for everybody else. Shouldn't she be talking to her children about why they feel this way about this man and maybe help relieve their worries as their mother? I would think so.
She knows why. She did have that talk with her kids. She don't care.
Yeah, the kids did express how they felt about him. They did. They expressed it in very great detail. They did. They expressed it in very great detail.
Smart kids.
Yes,
Very smart kids. On TV, it seemed like the smartest kids belong to the stupidest adults.
they do. I 100% agree with that. And as I said, Chloe's job from getting that feedback from her kids, if she still wanted to pursue this man, she needed to be able to see what her kids are talking about. And how you see is you watch the behaviors. She said that he picks up the girls from school when she can't do it. He steps in. He's at the house spending the night. So that is your time to observe what it could be your children are seeing. Because if they could see it and experience it and you're in the room watching it, I'm sure you could see it too. Unless you don't want to see it. Because we do have those parents too. They don't want to see what is very evident. I remember that too. I remember that. Instead of her getting counseling, she's replacing Get with Jordan and his mama. Could be. I mean, could be. Yep, it's giving J-Lo vibes. She doesn't want to be alone. Oh, not J-Lo vibes. If Tariq told me he's not comfortable around some man that I'm dating when he was younger, I have to look at the dude like, I don't know if it's going to work out. My son and I are a package deal. Yes, that's how most parents would work. Or if you can't really see what it like, kids are not wrong, guys, when in these situations, they're typically not. They're not trying to lead anyone in no wrong direction. They feel a way, they're uncomfortable. I don't know if anything has happened or not happened, or they could be feeling away from what happened with the brother that she's trying to clean up but keep slipping on. It could be from that. I don't know. But I just know there's something that she's not paying attention to that the kids obviously see. So if Tariq not rocking with you, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Absolutely. Mr. Best said it. Now I get it. Now I get it. This. Anyway, shall we go move on? Y'all are killing me. So, Ro has a conversation with her child's father. She's in the room there on FaceTime because he does not live in the same state that she lives in. And she said this whole situation came about where The daughter and the father were having some text message exchange, and then the daughter came in the room crying. Rose saw the text messages and just completely said, "Oh no!" and kind of sees communication a little bit. So now she knows that she cannot do that because her child still needs her father. So she wants to have a conversation with him because idealistically they parent differently from each other, and this happens a lot too, where parents parent differently when it comes to kids, especially when they don't live in the same household. So when it comes to that, a child could be confused because they're not receiving the same, attention they either get from home or with the other parent. So it's Rose trying to speak to him so that maybe they can become on the same page with how they parent, or at least have some sense of compromising. And I think they did it quite well. The man seems like he was, open to coming there trying to, reason with Roe. And then, once they got that, clear together, then he says, "Well, I heard you at your body that I want to see." And it was kind of looking like a little flirtation. Ro, I need you to confirm this. I know you watch me from time to time. I need you to confirm, was there a little flirtation or was I reading the situation wrong? I need to know. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the conversation between Ro and her child's father?
Their relationship was weird. It was moments in that conversation where it seemed like they wanted to fuck each other, and then there were moments where it seemed like she could not stand him and was
Right.
reminded like why there. It was very toxic. It was very toxic. Um I didn't like how he made her get up. You look good.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
She
what about?
know. But I'm confused. I'm confused because Ro is usually pretty like white and black for the most part on this show. Like we know what we're getting with her is either one way or the other. This is one of those
Hmm.
situations where I could not read Ro. I'm like, do you still like this man? Maybe he's got some magical eggplant emoji or something that she just remembering or something. But I don't know. Their relationship is odd. The age of their daughter, personally, I feel like Ro is doing more than she needs to. At the age that her daughter
Yes,
is, honestly, he needs to make an effort to talk to her. She's big enough to talk to him. She's big enough to have a relationship with him. Like, yes, you have to co parent, but it just seems like maybe if he was present more, like whatever like concerns or issues she has for her daughter might resolve themselves. Because it seemed like her kid is decent. She seemed like a good kid. Like you could tell when somebody's child is just like out of control or struggling. Rose kid seems like a good kid. So if she's having any type of struggle, I do feel like it might be because of that man. He seems just a smidge toxic. Like he doesn't seem
for
like a
sure.
bad guy, but he does seem like toxic in the way that things have to be his way and on his terms. And that's unrealistic when you have a kid. But
You have a kid and then you don't live in the same place either. Yeah, that's very unrealistic. Yeah,
where does he
100%
live?
agree.
That was my
I
Where
don't.
does he live? That was the only question I had watching the show because they're in Houston. Houston is a very like if I had a kid and that my kid was in a different state and I'm in a state different from Houston, I wouldn't mind going to Houston. Like it's a city where you can make a name for yourself, do things. So I don't like does he have to live in another state? Is there like a business tying him there? Like I have lots of questions.
Yeah, bro, we have some questions. Hopefully, we elaborate because I know he makes an appearance on the show at some point. So maybe we'll get clarity there because, yeah, it was a lot unsaid, but yeah, it was a little interesting energy. I will say that, especially because Mrs. Best echoed the same thing I was thinking. For it just to be just a platonic baby daddy, baby mama situation, there was a lot of flirtation going around. I was like, oh, okay, what is this? We need more information. Um, but speaking of toxic energy, Latoria goes ring shopping with Jordan. And from the moment she walk up in there and is introduced to the sales rep that is going to be showing them rings, she can't even get the lady's name right. The lady's name is Rhiannon. She kept calling her Rihanna, Rania, Riri.
This why I don't
Uh,
like this is one of the many reasons I cannot stand this wicked witch Latoria. I'm sorry. I can't stand her. I think she pretends to be nice and gets by on it, but that is one of the rudest things that you could do to people, especially as a black woman, since you want to talk about black people don't like the term precious and bring race into it. I'm gonna do the same thing, Latoria. Like our names are notoriously mispronounced by people. So I feel like the least you could do is get other people's names correctly. She thought it was funny, and I feel like maybe was kind of doing it for a moment for the show. But Rhiannon looked irritated. Also, that's a very common name.
It really is. I have a friend named Rhiannon. So actually, I knew a guy named Rhiannon, and one of my friends, her name is Rhiannon. And it's a very common name. So I don't know why she kept messing it up. But, anyways, Jordan walks in. They're looking at rings. He's looking at, certain type of cut rings. And, you know, Victoria asked him, like, well, which ring you going to go with? He goes, well, I like this ring, but we need to make it bigger. And Chloe, her confession, I mean, not Chloe, Latoya in her confession said, oh, well, what is the budget? And I'm like, right. I need to know what he does for a living. It's given freight, but I could be wrong. And I don't really care one way or the other, but okay. And so they pull each other to the side, have a sidebar conversation, and pretty much, talking about, so where are we with the relationship and everything? And he goes, I'm trying every day. I'm doing everything that I can to make sure she's happy. I'm making sure that I participate. And he says, I'm also working on myself because I know you heard about the date thing. She said, yeah, I heard about the picnic date thing. He goes, yeah, I know I did not act well and I need to work on that. And he goes, I'm, going to therapy for that, to make sure that I look into that and, make sure I get myself correct. I said, a lot of what he said to me, I'm like, okay, usually most people, when they come to that crossroads of their life, they wait until they figure out their agitated points and not reacting and make sure they get help before they think about signing on the dotted line to be legally binded to somebody. Most people with, sense is what I'm saying. Not someone who says, okay, well, yeah, I want to marry her. I want to make sure I propose to her, but then I need to get therapy too because I may need some help. We're once again, Chloe can't keep it straight, and neither can Jordan because we're doing things so out of order here. I don't understand. And for Latoya to sit there collecting all these notes. Now, I'm not saying she should go and tell Chloe, what's going on. I don't feel like Chloe would listen anyway. But I feel like I would not be okay if my friends, first of all, I wouldn't be in this situation at all. I would not be picking out a ring for Mrs. Best. I would not be doing this at all. Just because I wouldn't feel comfortable. But by Spidge, if someone was to tell me, yeah, but I need to work on some things, my first question would be, okay, is why are you trying to marry somebody when you need to work on your triggers and the things that actually is disrupting your relationship? You think getting married is the solution? Where's the emotional intelligence? I would be like, no, this ain't the way, friend. This is not what you need to be doing. You need to work on you. And then let's come back here when, you start to work on yourself and start to understand yourself better. That's how I feel. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that scene?
Which scene we on? My bad.
No, it's okay. We're still in Jordan and Tori. We're talking about their sidebar conversation they were having.
Oh, the shopping, the shopping, the shopping. Again, Latoria, you really just listen, Precious. I need you to understand that the worst thing you can do as a friend is to be dishonest with your friends. Now, you don't have to agree with your friend's relationship. Keep it real with your friend. You don't have to down their damn relationship, but you don't have to agree. You can also keep it real, and you don't need to go assist your friend in getting married to this person who she just told you her kids don't want her to even be with. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. No, Keywan says she want to fucking cry about the term precious. Should she want to cry about a term that her good friend Chloe actually made? Like, Latoria is not a friend. And then I'm still mad about season 1 and how she did who was the chick she ended up on a date with? I'm still mad about season 1, Latoria as well. But I just don't understand why you would support that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. He's a big boy. If he wants to marry her, let him go and pick out the ring and give it to her. Like, your friends don't need to be involved. I think that's weird.
I think it's weird, but then also, if I do decide to show up, I don't want the man to tell me that I have triggers and stuff and I don't act right and I need to get some therapy and I'm actually going to make a therapy appointment.
Here's the other thing, the other
I
side of that I did not like. And somebody told me, an old lady named Miss Dorothy, she just turned 104. We love her. But
Yes.
she told me, don't ever take advice from your friends that ain't married or have been divorced. Latoria, be quiet. Be very, very quiet. And this lady was married for 67 years. So I trust her opinion. And I'm looking at Latoria like, you don't have a man your damn self. You talk about, I see the good in Jordan. Bitch, how do you see the good in somebody that is cheating on your friend and has her in tears when she is still grieving her ex and taking steps to move on? Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't like
I'm
friends
sure
like this.
I don't either because I'm sure he's a good guy. I just feel like he's struggling with all of the wrong right now. And I feel like because he is young.
How you
I'm
go from fucking other bitches, though, to wanting to marry me? That's the
right.
part that really
That's
concerns
what
me
we're
about
leaving
him.
out. Yes. Thank you.
Because she just said she was cheated on. Now suddenly he's interested in proposing. It's giving he just wants to propose to shut her up. And again, you could have called your mama Jordan instead of Latoria since she's so close to Chloe. She probably could have told you the same things. But I don't know. I don't really care for Chloe and Jordan. A piece of me feels like it may be for a storyline with them. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't know. I
I
thought
don't
it
know
was
either, but
very weird.
it was strange because to me, I would not be a good friend if I didn't tell my friend, hey, look, I'm not gonna tell you about the proposal, but I would say I had a conversation. He had reached out to me. You might want
Maybe
to
Latoria thought it would be like when Angel went to with Kiana's dude. Maybe Latoria thought, okay, we're in a jewelry store, but maybe he'll just buy a picture frame. I don't know. But it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't. I don't understand people doing that. Like James, I hope you know, like whatever decisions you make in life, I will fully support. But if I ever like did not like your spouse, like for reasons that had to do with how you're treated, and then your spouse were to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be asking him to marry me." Well, I wish y'all the very best. Click. That's it. I'm not gonna go
no,
shop
you
for a
better
ring
tell
for a
me.
man.
No, listen, you better tell me that's what the plan is.
Listen,
You better
that's on
listen.
you.
I better
You
be
gotta
the
let
next
people do
phone
this.
call.
I'm
No,
about to.
if you see red flags and then this fool tell you he like want to propose and you see these red, listen. Mrs. Best in a previous situation has expressed concerns after meeting a former partner of mine, and
But I was
she
still
voiced them.
nice to him.
She was so nice to him, but
I
she
damn near
voiced
killed
those
him.
concerns to me because I didn't see them. And I told her specifically, okay, I need to see them for myself because he is not showing me. And if he is showing me, it isn't obvious. So I need to see what you're seeing. And when she explained to me what it was, I knew how to trigger that out of somebody to see what they do. And then once I saw it, I left that relationship. Once I saw
Mm-hmm.
exactly what Mrs. Best saw, and I saw it too, because I'm listen, because she knows me better than a lot of the people in my life. And she knows that in regular life, I would not put up with that. So it's obvious one, I either don't see it or I can't connect with it. So once I connected with it, I was done. I was completely done. So sometimes you got to
Sometimes
warn your
people don't
friends.
see shit. Always warn your friends,
You
but
always have to
don't
warn
tear
them.
them down. Do not tear them
Hmm.
down. Do not get at their partner all the time. There's balance, and I think that that's probably the best thing because you explaining that makes me also realize, to put it simply, Latoria is crossing a boundary that doesn't need to be crossed.
Yes, by
It's
not
just
warning her friend, hey, I have concerns. You just told me this man cheating on you and he's talking about marriage. What are we missing?
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I
what are we
just feel
missing?
like you can support your friends, but part of supporting your friends is telling them stuff that may be difficult to hear. And Latoria probably could have given a lot more advice, but I think this is just like, and I'm not getting at anybody, but I do believe there's value in getting advice from people that like are in successful relationships at the minimum versus somebody who's alone and had to have Labrina hook her up with somebody's grandpa, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She kept making them say because it's their father being gone and they kept telling her no, that irked me. Because it's easy to do that. That's an easy thing to do because one, it doesn't make her wrong for still wanting to go forward with him. And it could, and it's something that like a lot of parents will feel a child can grow out of, out of past the grievance stages. I think she tells herself that because it's an easy thing to do instead of just listening and understanding that no, if it comes to blows with your child, that's not a healthy relationship, ma'am. Your children ain't just acting out because they don't like him. There's something they're seeing that you're not. It's very simple. Children are innocent. They're not, people who have lived life and experienced things. And I wish people would stop doing that to children. Their feelings are valid too. If they feel it, they're innocent enough to understand, hey, something's not right with this man, mom. Something's not right. I don't like him. But hey, eggplant emoji is wonders when, it comes to compromising the mind sometimes. Wait,
Bitches just be weak. Listen, good
yeah,
dick shouldn't make you stupid. I
it
stand by that.
shouldn't. It should not. Yes. Wait, I miss. No one saw it. Lord Jesus, no one was talking about it. It was a comment she had made. My God, not the man. Yeah, it does wonders. I'm telling you, when women don't understand, sometimes women can be absent-minded when it comes to good eggplant emoji. They start taking on second jobs. They start letting the bum be the bum, and I've seen women do some crazy stuff to keep a man when the eggplant emoji is great and magical. Yes, make sure to like the video, friends. Make sure to like it. I'm a peaceful one. I love Danny. And doesn't Latoya work in service industry? She should be able to remember the lady's name. I would think, but hey,
That's
that's
why I thought it was performative.
oh, this brother gonna come with a ring, or is he gonna be like Greg from Baton? No, not a picture frame. Y'all leave Greg alone. His picture frame. Is Kiana engaged yet? I don't check up on her. Y'all let me know if y'all. Um, yes, Mr. Best, a business spell. Latoya needs to get names requests for. Lord Jesus. Once again, homie, I'm guessing, and it sounds like it might be right. Look at me. I be smart sometimes. You smart all the time, Shani. Smart all the time. Not Precious. Oh, so they were saying she looked like Precious and not like, oh, look at her. Ain't she so precious? That's how it started. But when they put the clip back, what made it go the other way is Chloe said the name of the actress and said, that's Precious. And we were like, oh, because they made it seem like it was all Labrina. But Chloe had a part in that too, a bigger part than Labrina did. But hey, this is why they need a reunion. This needs to get readdressed at a reunion. I hope they have one at some point. Did Jordan say the budget for Chloe's ring was $10K? What does he do for work? We don't know. We don't know nothing about him. All we know is that, he's Chloe's boyfriend. The kids don't, see it for him, and Chloe's close with his mama. That's all we know. And that he may have cheated on her, but Chloe was very quickly to forgive, which, once again, all the proof that we have is her mouth and her saying she saw the lady on the ring door bell camera. Yeah. The Rangers will continue to hook and keep Chloe. Yep, absolutely. Because a lot of women will say yes to a ring. Absolutely. Chloe is displaying bird behavior. Yes, she is. Yes, no financial advice from a broke person, marriage relationship from a single person, and recipes from someone who cannot cook. You better tell the truth and shame the devil. I love this. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping this. James, we can't see it when you're in it so good on Mrs. Best. Yes, a lot of the times we cannot see it. And it's not that we don't want to see it, it's just the day to day with a person can distract you from seeing what you need to see. And that's why you have friends who have beyond well discernment to be able to pick apart those things, explain it in a way that you understand it. Because in regular time, hey, no, this will never fly with me. Or, hey, no, this behavior is never tolerable for me. But I can't see it because my day to day with a person is so different. So that's where you cause to pay attention. And one thing that Mrs. Best done, because we've had a very long friendship, she knows how to reel me back in and explain it in a way where I understand it and I know how to spot it out. And when I don't know how to spot it out, I ask her, well, how would that look? So that way I know. I'm very wise beyond my years, but sometimes I do fall short. But one thing about me is I know a situation and a circumstance. And she knows how to explain that to me very well. So yes, and that's what friends are supposed to do. So yes. I tried to tell my friend about this user and she married her anyway, so I'll be here when it all blows up. Hey, still support your friend. Because once again, sometimes even that can be overlooked because of how normal it could be on a day to day. So just be there for your friend. James, your best friend is a Gemini. She gonna sit back and just observe and listen, and then turn around and let you know what the deal is. Of course.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's why people think I'm a bitch when they first meet me. I gotta like watch and observe before I interact. I
Yeah.
don't like humans though. I'm figuring it out.
She wasn't like that when she met me. She was not, but over time, she did. She became that way.
The world hardened me.
It, that's what it will do, though. It will do that. Chloe don't want to hear anything against Jordan because she's not liking she's not listening to her kids. Yeah, so unfortunate. I don't see any men knocking down Latoria's door so she can be. AB. Well, damn. I don't know who works, you and Mrs. Best right now. This might sound crazy, but in my mind, your babies and your animals listen to them. Of course. If you're not listening to anybody else, that should be who you be listening to because that's who you are taking care of. It's crazy. Not Greg from Potomac. Yes, Greg from Potomac. Kay is not engaged. I guess she still has that picture frame. Is she still with him?
Probably.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? I gotta get on with the show, y'all. What are we missing? Manira has a scene with her dad, which was I feel bad for Manira. I did. But she's talking to him and trying to get, acquainted with him again. They don't really speak often, which is very sad. The dad is a very proud man. Like Manir said, I could tell he was something else back in his day. But he said that he's grown, he's done the work, he's been journaling. And Manira asked if she could have those journals. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll make sure you have them. She's like, can I get them now? He goes, no, after I leave this earth, you can have them. She goes, well, how would I know? Well, he goes, well, you my only child, so everything is going to come to you. So yeah, you can have them when I'm passed. And they start talking about the relationship with his mom. He doesn't want to go into detail. And I'm like, usually people who don't want to go into detail usually is the one that's wrong. But I digress. I don't know. I don't know the situation. I don't know the story. So Manira really can't get much out of him, and it frustrates her. But she has a correlation. She realizes that her mother is this way and her father is this way, and she realizes that she struggles with transparency as well. She's not as open, and she doesn't want to explain things. She realizes she's very closed off. So I'm glad she's having this realization. A lot of the times when we talk to our parents, we do have these realizations. So I'm glad that she's talking to him, but she lets him know that he lets her know that he's having a serious health issue as well, which caught her way off guard because she goes, well, why didn't you tell me this before? Like, why didn't you? Because now it's a last minute thing. And once again, Manira's the only child, y'all. So not only does she have to deal with her mother's health issues, but now she has to take on her father's health issues. But she wants her father to come around, come around her husband, the kids. And she says she would like to have a space where all of her family's together. And he goes, well, I don't have no problem meeting with your mom. I, would love to be a part of that. And the mom ain't really trying to see it for him. So, we'll see how that turns out. We do. We'll see how that turns out. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about the scene with Manira reuniting with her dad? Oh, I see it. Never
I
mind.
wish them, I wish them the best. I do.
Yeah. He said Manira's daddy is writing down all that bad shit he has done in the past. That's why anyone probably won't talk about it. Twin, you sound like humans when you want to be bothered. Well, you don't like being bothered. No, you don't like humans. Just maybe a cat. No, she just no. She listen. Humans are always questionable. So I think she said it exactly how she meant it.
I like y'all, but like that's it.
Regular
Like
day
y'all
to
are
day
the
folks
thing.
could irritate her.
They do. When people talk to me at work, I get angry.
She
Like
do,
the my
and
coworkers, not my clients. I don't know
I be
why.
loving it because I'm the outlet she lets it out on, and I be hollering.
Jesus.
Yes, don't cancel me, but this even near that bored me and went on too long. It really did. All we need to know is he's not doing well. We'll pray for him in there and we'll keep it moving. So now we have the final scene with Rose. This is Rose. Rose at a lounge. She actually knows the owner of the lounge. He actually came in and tried to flirt with her, hit her up on them. He was cute, but he was giving little boyish to me. I don't know why, but he just was. It wasn't someone I see her with personally, but if it worked, good, Rose. If it don't listen. He just gave a little boyish to me, just little boy. Um, Everyone looked nice when they got there and everything. Ro has everyone with a present and a centerpiece with their name on it, which I thought was great. They were talking about pleasuring, fetishes, and all this kind of stuff. Stuff I can't say on regular YouTube channels, but it was a cute scene for what it was. We then get on to, Ashley and, this misunderstanding of where they went wrong. And Ashley explains herself that it wasn't a dig at her. It just seemed like, out of all the girls, she was given the first impression. And she felt that, Ro was a little bit more reserved and closed off. And she figures, hey, I'm just going to be here when you come around. I'll still be here and kind of, work with you and, try to make it to where we get in a better place because you just need a little bit more work than others. So when Ro hears this, she goes, "Okay." She looks at Chloe like that's not the way it was brought back to me. And then Chloe tries to defend it. She goes, "Oh no, she was just telling me, that you just had a wall up. What you do, Ro, and everything." Ro was side eye, and Chloe like, "Oh, okay, I'm watching you," because I think Ro is now finally picking up that Chloe is messy, and I'm glad somebody is picking up on it because there's no way that would have got around me. I would have instantly side eyed Chloe, especially if I don't know it. But they decided that they will, start on a better foot. Now that Ro knows what was really said, she's willing to give Ashley a chance, which is cool. So now we got that, all transpired. Then we get into what I'm not really wanting to talk about Chloe in this dramatic scene of, the kids and Jordan and all this and that. Meanwhile, Latoya is still holding on to the secret that he wants to propose. So now this is now the second time your friend has cried about the troubles that she has in this marriage. You just went with her boyfriend. That's why I got to see how this was filmed because it seems like they're filming things out of order or they're editing things out of order because there's no way my friend is going to cry to me about all these troubles. And then on the man's perspective, it's all sunshines and rainbows. I'm buying rings and want to plan a proposal. There's no way I would just sit back and be like, as I said, I wouldn't tell her about the proposal, but I would say, hey, I've had conversations and something is not matching here. What's really going on? Because Chloe's not being clear. That's all I'm gonna say. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about Ro getting the understanding from Ashley of what was actually said at that dinner? And do you think that she had every right to side eye Chloe and watch the circumstance?
In real time, I don't think Ro and Chloe are cool because I follow her and she's been speaking about not being good with her. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not. I do think Ro is correct. I think Chloe, Latoria, and Labrina are the messiest people on this show, which keeps the show going to a certain extent. But I'm glad Ro paid attention to that. I also think that Ro was smart to still be kind and calming and pick a game that allowed her to, like, one, show that she can open up and be welcoming, but also allow her to address the elephant in the room and the issue she had without it being like overly messy. That's hard to do on reality TV, so good for her for that. But Ashley, so I feel like she did what I see a lot of like clinicians that work in mental health do. I feel like she might work in mental health because it's like you were messy and had no reason to come for Ro and have the comments that you had on a bunch of women that you really don't know like that. Now that you're being confronted on it, like you're making it sound like something different, But then I'm like, maybe she didn't mean anything by it. Maybe she really didn't mean anything by it, because if that's your experience, then that's your experience with Ro. But I was glad to see that they were able to make peace, because it kind of seemed like Chloe wanted some type of drama to happen. And the only reason I really, really felt that way is because after she saw that Ro and Ashley were not going to get into it and do tit for tat, it seemed like this, she was suddenly crying about being overwhelmed. So it just seemed
Yep.
like she needed somebody to be upset. I see through the manipulative tears compared to actual tears, and it felt like those were manipulative tears. So good job to Ro. She clearly has great discernment.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. I'm gonna get these last bit of comments. I just read an article that 8.5's husband just got arrested for domestic battery in Florida. Wow, wow, wow. Hmm, interesting. Let me see. I was getting ready to say twin like us. I like my dogs better than people. A lot of people do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes. I think Ro has already knocked him. You think so? I don't see it.
Yes. Yes, that is very clear.
I don't see it. Yes,
James, I'm
people
gonna need you
said.
to get better. You should be able to tell when people seeing each other naked. It'd be obvious.
No, it does not. Not
Yes,
all
it
the
do.
time.
With them, that shit was obvious. That was, I done seen you before. Are we gonna do it again? What's up later? When the cameras go down.
Ro, if you still watch my channel, I need you to confirm this because I don't see it. I really
I
don't
wouldn't be
see
mad
it.
if she did. He was cute. And he
He
got a
was,
job.
but anyways, yeah, Ro, if you still watching me to the end, baby, I need you to confirm this. Like, was that a has been, and not has been in general term, has he been knocking the boots at least once? Please let us know, because now I'm curious if my discernment really is that off, because I didn't see it. But maybe, because I have higher hopes for you, I guess. Not to say he's any lower standard. He's not. But I'm just saying I kind of see a little bit more upward and onward with you. But anyways, y'all, that was it. That was Heart and Hustle Houston. It was an okay episode. Look like next week is going to, definitely get a little bit more interesting. I cannot wait to see it. I want to thank everybody for being here. Shout out to my replay game. Like the video, leave a comment. I definitely will heart it. If not, leave you a comment back to say thank you. I want to thank Mrs. Best for being here. I want to thank all the people in my chat. Thank you guys for holding me down. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the video on your way out. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys on my next live. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.